What is going on, Cube Crew? We recently dropped the free open beta for our platform Amurus, and we've been working on it ever since. Now that there are no deadlines forcing us to crunch on features, there are a few certain areas that we want to hone on as development progresses, with your guys' voices in our ears. Let's check them out. Currently, the Amurus levels can feel a little bit dry, with very few ways to customize the visual theme of the levels, and a text tool that isn't currently super robust. This will be changing as the level editor is upgraded to include decorative items, which can be used to construct all sorts of worlds and bringing life to the levels that you can create. What sort of decorative items, you may ask? Well, I don't know, rocks, trees, couches, etc. All the mad fantasy things you can think of. As all the official campaign levels are also built using the level editor, this feature will be instrumental in bringing an element of environmental storytelling to the lore. If we can get this video to 20 likes, who knows? Lore teaser soon? Oh, cheeky lore. In bringing life to these levels, many players expressed a desire for secrets within them, which is something that was omitted in the beta launch as we didn't really have time to develop secrets for the 200 levels featured in the release. As per your guys' feedback, we are currently planning to have one secret collectible per map, having it be something related to the lore, maybe a scroll with some text on it or a significant item, etc. If you have any suggestions, just let us know. Developing levels to feature secrets will also be much easier with the use of decorations, as levels can become less one note. We've also been working on some of the other modes, including a new arcade mode where the camera is stationary and the player navigates through a series of static viewports similar to old retro platformers that didn't have side-scrolling. This small change drastically overhauls how levels are designed and navigated, making it an interesting addition. Create and Clash, or CAC support, is also being added into the client itself, allowing players to run their own CACs without us devs organizing it. If you don't know what a CAC is, it's a Amurus tournament format where a group of players all spend time creating a level, then all of those levels are submitted into one big Clash map, where the goal is to achieve the fastest speedrun time for the map. Whoever gets the fastest time wins. Within the client, players can now simply make a create map to have levels be generated with the CAC restrictions, randomly generated all positions with a random selection of available items to build a level with. This randomly generated selection of items is a new addition to address the paralysis of choice that can come with the game now featuring almost 30 mechanically unique items. With so many different mechanics to explore, limiting the player to use a select combination allows them to explore the relationship between the select few in more depth. Restrictions breed creativity. The Clash map that everyone speedruns can also be made in the client. Each player hits a single export button on their map, saving their level or levels in a zip. Then the person making the Clash map can simply import these zips directly into the map. Now all these changes require a bit of an upgrade to the UI, the level editor in particular, and Monarch has been doing some research into UI theory in order to develop something that will excel within Amurus. There are so many different aspects of Amurus that developing a UI that can elegantly display all the relevant information while still retaining its navigatability and aesthetics is no easy feat. New features like the map mode selection are using bodgy looking placeholder layouts in anticipation of a potential UI overhaul on those menus. With that being said, keep an eye out to see how it develops. Now this was certainly the most challenging thing I've done in a while, as someone who dropped out of physics for this exact reason. The player movement previously was done by simply setting the X component of the player's velocity to whatever the smoothed input value was. However, this proved extremely limiting in the amount of ways we could have the player interact with the world. By hard coding this X velocity, any external forces that may add to the player's X velocity were overridden, meaning that the player could not be affected by things such as wind, explosions, dash pads, or any other means of gaining a horizontal boost. To allow for such things, I had to change the movement system to move the player via adding an additive force, rather than overriding the X value. However, the challenge was getting this force-based movement to mirror the old velocity-based movement. I'll be explaining the physics noob way I achieved this in a future video for nerds, so make sure to hit that subscribe button so you do not miss it when it drops. The whole reason this was so high up on the priority list in the first place was that it allowed the development of a climb assist feature, making the vertical scaling of straight walls much more intuitive and simple. Previously, if a player jumped while hanging onto a wall, with input moving into the wall, nothing would happen. However, now, jumping while hanging onto a wall propels the player away from the wall, adding an external force which can now no longer be overridden by the input, resulting in an arcing motion if the player continues to move towards the direction of the wall. This feature should make Muris much easier for new players who are struggling to wrap their heads around the unique movement mechanics, providing a more intuitive approach for them to lean on. Now you may have noticed the one big thing missing from all this feedback is the networking aspects, online leaderboards, multiplayer, etc. I'll be talking about all this in an upcoming video. However, next fortnight's devlog you may be getting a sneak peek on how the networking pilot project is coming along. And that just about does it for this devlog. If you enjoyed, the biggest way that you can help out the channel for free is to share this video with a mate who you think might enjoy it as well. Come join the Cube Crew community in the Discord server, and as always, a massive thank you to our patrons for keeping the lights on here at SoulCube. Feel free to leave some feedback on the video down in the comments below, and just like I need to shave, you need to hit that like button. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.